Welcome back, RHS. The one-stop shop for your bi-weekly RHS news and entertainment.
Welcome to RHS, freshmen.
Welcome back, seniors.
Now to Ashton with sports.
Hello, I'm Ashton, and this is the Orange R Sports. RHS football played at Barlow and won 35-7. Lost 7-42 versus Summit. Lost 7-35 at Churchill, and lost 7-20 versus Crater. Volleyball lost at Crater 0-3, won at Grants Pass 3-1. Lost versus North Medford 0-3 against Crescent Valley 0-2. Lost 0-3 against Summit. Lost 0-3 versus North Medford. Lost 0-3 at South Eugene, and lost 1-2 at Lake Ridge. Boys soccer tied 1-1 at Newburgh, won 4-0 versus Eagle Point, lost 0-2 at North Medford, tied 1-1 versus Willamette, lost 1-7 at South Medford, and lost 1-2 versus Grants Pass. Girls soccer won 5-0 versus Eagle Point, won 4-2 at Crater, tied 0-0 versus North Medford, tied 1-1 at Willamette, won 2-1 versus South Medford, and lost 2-3 at Grants Pass. Here is a clip of the game winning goal in the varsity girls soccer game against South Medford.
That's not where they take from, is it?
Cross country had a home meet on September 10th. Now back to the broadcast.
Thank you, Ashton. That was an amazing report on our sports.
Way to fight football. Let's go, RHS.
Now to the fresh new faces for weather, Noah and Zeppelin.
Welcome back, RHS. I'm Noah Anderson, and this is
Zeppelin Atten.
We're coming at you with the weather forecast for the 1st through the 3rd. Wednesday, October 1st is looking like partly cloudy skies with humidity of 68% and an average temperature of 73 degrees, and a 24% chance of precipitation.
Now Thursday is going to have a mixed intervals of clouds and sunshine, with the peak temperature being estimated to be 75 degrees. And it looks like we might have some rain that day. 18% chance of precipitation. How grand! And hey, that humidity, am I right? 66% chance. Goodness gravy.
And finally, on Friday, we're looking at another partly cloudy day with an average temperature being 74 degrees, and the same threshold as the other days. Man, 67 humidity, just like...
Wow, that's a lot for moderate weather.
No joke. On to Xavier with stocks. Get that moolah.
Hi, I'm Xavier Eugene Arana Lanham. That's my full name. Did you know that if you are a redhead and a redneck with freckles, you can cash in your 401k 20 years early? Also, if you day trade, you'll get money. Banking is a lie. It's all ran by fish people that are underground. The stocks are a lie, ran by fish people. That's about it.
Dude, why are you in here?
I don't
Are you recording right now? Hello, I am Keaton Pelkey, and I'm here to tell you that everything you just saw was fake, a fabrication, not real. Please do not take it seriously. Banking is good.
Wow, okay.
On to Chase, Keaton, and Amelia with the VOTEC updates.
So do you mean like the parking space alignments and those things?
Yeah,
or?
also there was like changes to where it's like first come, first serve instead of having a specific spot.
So I think the first thing, just with the rearrangement, right? Because staff has been moved to a different area. We had a need to create more visitor spots because we just didn't have enough visitor spots when people were coming to do business here. So we tried to isolate staff into more of singular areas instead of kind of spread out. And then which that did is then created some extra visitor spots where staff used to be. And then you'll also know that we had like our van and bus storage that used to be out front. We were able to move them out to create some extra spaces. So that was the idea for the space structure.
Does this make your job easier the way it's all set up now?
The way the new setup is?
Yeah.
It's not going to make it easier, but having the first come, first park system, I think is going to be easier for the students. And we're going to have less issues, because what would happen in previous times is you would come to school, try to park in your parking spot that was assigned to you, and there'd be somebody in it. And so then you would park in another empty spot that you saw, therefore they would have somebody parked in their spot, so you'd have a snowball effect, and the next thing you know, nobody's in their right spot.
What will happen if you park in staff spots?
So if you park in a staff parking lot, you would get a parking ticket, which can come with a fine. And then depending upon how many violations you've had, you may be towed.
You can finish.
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, how did this affect student parking? Like, did this remove any student parking spaces?
No, it actually, I think they're gained a couple. So, yeah. And then with the first come, first serve, what we found was our security folks were spending an inordinate amount of time in the parking lot dealing with somebody's in my spot, or those different kinds of things. And we really need our security people like in the building. And so we decided that we were going to not have assigned spots anymore, first come, first serve. The other thing too is, I don't know if you know this, but we have kind of a tardy problem. And that was an idea that people come late when they know they have assigned spots.
Yeah.
They'll have a place to park. And I can tell you, since the beginning of school, with that first come, first serve, I haven't seen nearly the late stuff from our drivers. So.
And where exactly is the difference between a staff and a student place, like in space?
Well, most of the student or the staff now is behind Denny's, right? Where that used to be a lot of student parking. That's now all Denny's to the building is all staff now. There are some staff spots closer out towards the fence area, where the sign is, the reader board. But now all those other spaces in the middle, especially in front of the building, have been turned from staff to student to make up for the ones over by the Denny's parking lot. Yeah, and other than that, nothing's really changed. Triangle parking lot is still students, and that.
So parking is a privilege. If you think that you want to park on campus, make sure that you are in classes on time. Make sure that you have your grades up where they're supposed to be, that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and that you're on track to graduate.
Who'd have known that construction would take that long?
I can't believe Powell's roof was open during class.
I can't either.
Wow, that's crazy. On to the next segment.
I hear they're talking about the new parking lot.
Wowzers.
Updates. Okay, so the VOTEC was undergoing construction regarding a seismic grant upgrade. So what that meant was they were trying to make this building safer in the case of an earthquake. So what that entailed was kind of quite literally chopping the building in half and putting in a custom gasket or separator to separate the two pieces of the building where it splits levels. But with that came a lot of upgrades to classrooms with new lighting systems. We have new LED motion sensor light systems. But the construction overall was just spent time this summer and even into the school year of finishing those upgrades, finishing the roof construction. In addition to that, they replaced a lot of the roof on this lower level to make it more water safe and watertight.
Were there any areas in particular that seemed like the most at risk of the VOTEC?
Oh, I wouldn't know. I mean, I'm not an engineer, a structural engineer. I know that they look at the building as a whole. And so I don't think there was one particular piece of the building that was higher risk than another. I think they look at it as a single structure to make for the safety.
Classroom being in the building. Yeah, it's definitely posed some challenges for sure. A big part of that was the construction went longer than anticipated. So that meant that unfortunately a lot of the construction is actually still ongoing. So for a couple of weeks we still had ceilings that were exposed to daylight, but the construction company's been working hard to try to get that patched up, and so now there's just a few more maintenance issues, like replacing old insulation and finishing some of the components of the construction. So it's definitely posed the challenges for a lot of teachers in this building. My classroom, unfortunately, being one of the most ones affected, because the slice in the building was quite literally through my classroom. So unfortunately, at the end of the year, I had to completely pack up my room, and much of my room hasn't been able to be reset because the construction is still going on. So yeah.
I'm so glad that we will have a new parking lot.
Me too.
Well, Kyla, I think that's all we have this week.
Yep.
Bye.
Sorry.